Good morning. Getting a 6:40 start. This might be my earliest start so far. And gonna try to do at least 20 miles today, maybe a little more, we'll see. And beautiful sunrise this morning. In life off the trail, it's really hard not to compare yourself to other people. And it's no different on the trail. And yesterday I ran into a couple of people in there. This is their final leg of their Triple Crown. They've done the PCT, CDT, and now they're doing the AT. And they were moving really fast, and they're doing like 25 to 35 miles a day. Their packs look so small, and I was just comparing myself and keep telling myself, hike my own hike. And then I rolled into camp last night. A hiker that I know I was standing there with my pack on. He looked up at me and he said, "Gosh, your pack is so small." And I said, "But it's not as small as those folks." So they're like, "We're not those people." And it just made me think about, it's all relative in what you're trying to do, how the trip you want to have. And yeah, there certainly are people out here with packs bigger than mine carrying more, but it's hard not to compare some days when you see somebody just fly by you and then stop and swim in the river and then fly by you and then stop somewhere to get coffee and eat ice cream and then fly by you again. So I don't think they'll be flying by us again, because yesterday I did 22 miles and their plan was to do 33. So probably not going to catch up with them. And I'm going to enjoy the hike that I have and go for smiles, not miles. Right before I got to camp last night, I stopped to collect water this morning, and the water source was dry. It was a pipe spring and there was no water, and there was some standing water, but it really wasn't collectible. I spent a lot of time down there trying to get some and just could not. There's supposed to be some water here in about a mile and a half, and there's been mixed comments on the Far Out app about there being water, not being water, where to find it. So I'm hoping I can find it. If not, it's a 10-mile stretch. That was one reason I was going for a little earlier start this morning. And because if not, if I have to go 10 miles, hopefully I can get there by 10:30 or 11. But I am going to stop and hunt for this water first. Well, there is water here. Standing water is better than no water. I'm taking it. So as I've mentioned before, my trail name is Braveheart, and I've never seen the movie. I got the trail name when I was on the PCT, Pacific Crest Trail, and so people on this trail will call me Braveheart. But the last couple of weeks, they'll yell, "Freedom!" And I didn't know what that was about. Like, I met a girl and her trail name was Freedom. She goes, "But you gotta yell it." So I yelled it, just kidding around. And then yesterday a hiker was saying, "You haven't seen the movie. Best part is when he's yelling freedom." I'm like, oh, that's why people keep yelling freedom. I said, maybe I should watch the movie. He goes, "Oh no, you don't need to. Just Google that scene. It'll come up. I'll tell you the rest of the story in less than a minute." So we did. So when I hear people shout freedom, now I know why they're doing it. So I stopped to get some water and have some lunch, and this guy came up, and I thought I knew him from watching his YouTube channel, and I asked the girl beside me, and she didn't know what I was talking about. So I just said, "Hey, are you Mischief?" And he said, "Yes, I am." And I was like so impressed to see him back out. And I said, "Welcome back out on the trail." I'm going to be a bit of a tale toter. In our family, a tale toter is when you tell someone else's story. So I had to stop because some hikers were coming through. So I was thinking, where I left off was I was going to tell you that I was going to be a tale toter. In our family, a tale toter is somebody that tells someone else's story. So here's what I know about Mischief is a few years ago he was hiking the AT, and he went to get some water, and it was a cold time of year, and he slipped and fell and hit his head, and it knocked him out, and his feet were in the water. So when he woke up, his feet had been in the water for a really long time, and he had to kind of crawl back up to the trail, and I think he passed out a couple of times. It was bad. Anyway, as a result of his accident, he lost both of his legs below the knee, I believe. So he is back this year and hiking the AT with prosthetics. And I had been following him on YouTube, and then about a month ago, he had posted that he had to get off trail because one of his prosthetics broke. And so he was having to get a new one. And then last week he had posted that he was back on trail. I didn't know where he was getting on, so I was super happy to meet him. Really inspiring guy to be out here doing this, and I'm glad I got to see him. Hi, just a quick wind up for the day. I did 24.2 miles, and I hiked right up until dark because I took a little break in the heat of the day, and it turned out good. And it's getting pretty dark here, and everybody's tucked in for the night, so trying to be respectful of that. I'll talk to you in the morning. Good morning. Sorry I did such a short video last night, but I didn't get into the shelter or near the shelter till a little after 8 o'clock. And so by the time I got my chores done, tent set up, got water, and got everything, some dinner, it was like 8:45 or something like that. And most everybody was going to sleep. Last night was probably the closest I've slept to a shelter. It had me a little nervous because if there's mice in the shelter, they can't find anything, will come out the first tent or two that's near the shelter, but no mice for me. That was great. Yesterday I did 24.2 miles. Then on top of that, I had to do a little 0.3 side trail to get to the shelter. But it was worth it. There was water there. Water hasn't really been an issue until yesterday, maybe the day before, and today there's another 10-mile stretch without water, but there was water here, so I'm good for that. And today I'm going to do 16 miles into Weary Feet Hostel, and that's why I kind of pushed a little harder yesterday, because I wanted to have shorter mileage today and have a little more time there at the hostel and rest, shower. And yesterday it reached 80, and when I got up this morning, my clothes were still wet from sweat from yesterday. It was a sweaty day. It was supposed to rain this morning, but now they've changed the forecast. It's not going to rain, so I'm happy about that. When I got to the shelter last night, I thought I was going to have to go down the steep embankment to collect water, but there were these 2 5-gallon containers at the picnic table with water that a local trail angel replenishes, so we don't have to go down the steep embankment, which was really, really a super nice surprise. And I just can't tell you how much I appreciate all the trail angels do. Somebody was telling me that they had met the guy, and he drives them up as close as he can with his 4-wheeler, and then he has to lug them the rest of the way. And that sounds like a hard job, and I sure appreciate it. Today, I'm going to hit the 600-mile mark. Wow, I can't believe it. The other day, I hit the mark where I have been on trail. I've done 1/4 of the trail. So, got some good miles behind me. So had a great day today, and made plans for slack packing tomorrow. 16 miles today and then 18 tomorrow. And I'll slack pack back here to Weary Feet and spend the night again, and then they'll take me back the next day to start off from there. So had a wonderful home cooked meal. It's been a great day, and looking forward to tomorrow.